All right, the Oura Ring 4 is my favorite wearable, and I'm gonna take you through that right now. So first and foremost, it is extremely comfortable to wear. I have just replaced my wedding ring with this. The specific reason I wanted to get a ring, and this one in particular, is because I don't like having something on my wrist or having my phone in my pocket all the time, because I like to wear watches, for example. And so I don't wanna have a watch on this hand and a Fitbit on this one. And I get frustrated when I work out or go for a walk and I leave my phone and it doesn't count my steps. And so this is with me all the time, night, day, swimming, shower, sleep, work, whatever. It's always there. It's super comfortable. It is just like a wedding ring. It's maybe a little bit thicker this way than my wedding ring would be, but other than that, it feels exactly like it. So super comfortable. Some of the older ones had bumps inside the ring. They had like little ridges. This one, as you can see, does not. Everything, all of the little hardware, if you want to call it that, is sort of inset inside it. So it doesn't have any of that. So what I like about this though is it's extremely accurate. I've noticed with some other fit trackers and stuff in the past that they seem to count a lot of extra steps. I'm kind of a fidgety person, and so if I'm at my desk and I'm just kind of moving around, it's counting tons and tons of steps, and it'll really overcount it, especially if you play sports like tennis, golf, softball, things like that. With this one, I feel like it does a really good job, and I don't know how they did it with their sensor or their algorithm, but I feel like it does a really good job of balancing that stuff out. And so if you're just sitting there on the couch and you're just kind of messing around with your hands, you're not gonna just be logging steps and sort of falsely inflating your numbers. So I love that it gives you a really accurate count. The other thing is I love the features in the app, and I'm gonna show you that now, but it gives you a really, really detailed stuff, just significantly more readings than any of the other fitness trackers that I've tried in the past. And it's also got an AI component to it that I'm a big fan of. So I'm gonna show you some of that now. All right, so here's the app, here's the ring. Again, you can see on the inside there, on the inside of the ring, you can see some of the little things. At nighttime, sometimes it will light up. When you're in the dark, it actually does like a green, there's some science behind it, but it puts like that little green light shows up. And it's reading through your skin. It's reading heart rate and skin temperature and other stuff at nighttime. But that's the ring. Here's the app. And so you've got your standard stuff, right? Like here's my activity, you can see. So today I've done 6,665 steps. It gives me an activity score, which you can kind of track by day, by week, by month. You can kind of track it that way and it averages out, but it gives you total calories burned. So I burned 2,800 calories today. And then down here, it gives you these, and this is not necessarily your daily score. What this is giving you is sort of your averages. And so if it says pay attention, that means I have not been doing a good job of meeting my daily goals. And so you can kind of track that stuff. But where it's really unique to me and where I have not seen this previously is, here's a perfect example. So last night I got a sleep score, and it wasn't great. Last night was not a great night of sleep for me. I worked out for the first time in a while, so I was sore, I was tired. One of our kids kind of kept us up late. And so I got this notice this morning, and it said your resting heart rate lowered late last night, meaning that it never got down to the lowest rate until well into the middle of the night. And so it said, so you may not be fully recovered. And then if you click like dive in with advisor, this is where you get the details of the actual AI assistant that it has. So it's an AI advisor, and it says, my resting heart rate stayed higher for a lot of the night. It only dropped towards the end of sleep. It means my body was working harder than usual because I was busy or physically demanding from the day before, which is exactly accurate. I had a workout for the first time in a while. Kid kept us up late. I only got maybe 5 hours of sleep, so it wasn't great. And it warns you, today you're gonna feel like you've got lower stamina, mood fluctuations, maybe some extra tension. And so it kind of preps you for this sort of stuff. And it gives you some tips and things like that. Like, how does your energy feel? And you can answer it, and it'll give you kind of more tips and things like that. So this is a really cool feature where it gives you actionable information, to where sometimes these apps and things like that will give you information. You're like, okay, great. My oxygen saturation is 24. What the heck does that mean? This one doesn't really do that. So it gives you sleep scores and stuff like that. So you can kind of gamify it, and you can try to, beat your scores from the week before, compare yourself day over day. But it also gives you actionable information, which I'm a big fan of. It also gives you a lot of detailed info. So like on sleep, for instance, this is last night, wasn't a great night. You can see that 5 hours, 23 minutes of total sleep, 6.5 hours of time in bed. But it does give you like an efficiency score, resting heart rate, gives you a score. But then down here, it'll even go into Like I only had 1 hour and 0 minutes of REM sleep. I had an hour and 9 minutes of deep sleep. And it'll kind of give you what your targets are, what you should do. And over time, it'll tell you like, hey, your bedtime's coming up, might be time to start winding down, turn off the electronics, things like that. So it's really like, it's a tracker and kind of a personal assistant health coach in your pocket all in one. And to me, that is a very unique feature. Now let's talk about the one thing that I don't like. So the one thing that I don't like is you do have to pay a subscription for the app on a monthly basis. It's not expensive. It's like $5. I think it might even be $4.50. And so it's not, if you're in the market for a ring that costs what this one costs, it is not going to break the bank. It's just more of an annoyance. And I was frustrated about it, but once I got in here and I started messing around and I realized it's got the AI assistant and some of the other features, I'm more than happy to pay that on a monthly basis. Because I think it's worth it. I think the actionable data, not just getting the numbers, but getting information that goes along with it, and it's saying, here's what you should do about it, or here's what you might expect because of this, I think that's huge. And so to me, it's worth it. It was a little bit of a down, I was a little bit down on it at first, but once I got into the app and really experienced it, and I've been able to wear this for a while, I realized it's worth it. So it's super comfortable. I like it. The battery life on it is great. I have not charged this. It's been 7 or 8 days since I charged this last, and it has held up extremely well. It says the battery will last for 7 days, but I've done it for more than 7 days, and it still had like 23% battery left. So it holds up really well. I love the features of it, and the app is fantastic. That AI assistant thing is unbeatable in my mind. So big fan of this. Could not recommend it enough.